It's time for the annual unpacking of the lyrics of the Band Aid song Do They Know It's Christmas, which is condescending and patronising to the continent of Africa. A continent, I note, not a country. There are 54 different countries on the African continent. Please take note of that, Bob, Midge and Bono, etc. This song, it really winds me up. So let's start off with one of the easier bits, where the only water flowing is the bitter sting of tears. Alrighty, so the obvious one, of course, as everyone says, is the longest river in the world, is the River Nile. So there's quite a lot of water flowing there. Throw in the Zambezi, the Congo, the Niger, the Limpopo, etc. There are many, many rivers full of water. We also have the largest waterfalls by volume of water in the world, the Victoria Falls, Mosi Otunya, on the border of Zambia and Zimbabwe, which again has a lot of water. There isn't a problem with water in Africa. The next one, going chronologically through the song, is fairly subjective, but we got the Christmas bells that ring there are the clanging chimes of doom. Well, tonight, thank God, it's them instead of you. Again, it's the implication that people across the whole continent of Africa are not happy, are in desperate need, and are living a less valuable or happy life than people in the West. I don't think I can unpick that too much, other than to say that in my experience of living across Africa and living around Europe, there's no doubt where I found the happiest people who are more content with life, who are more full of joy. And let's say that most of them live in the southern hemisphere, all right? There won't be snow in Africa this Christmas time, perhaps with the exception of on Mount Kilimanjaro, Mount Kenya, and various other places of high altitude, much as is the same in Europe, where there won't be snow in bloody Europe, except in the Alps and other mountain ranges, because it doesn't tend to snow that often in December, particularly in southern Europe, but also kind of central Europe. Yeah, and including the United Kingdom, where the writers of this song emulate from, where it's a big deal if there's snow on Christmas Day. The bookmakers take odds on it because it's unlikely. But yeah, there won't be snow in Africa this Christmas time. Great observation, chaps. Where nothing ever grows, no rain nor rivers flow. Well, I think I've talked about the rivers. Some of the greatest rivers on this planet running through the continent of Africa. No rain. Well, you have rainy seasons when you'll see rains which are probably heavier than you'd see anywhere else in the world. Storage of water can be an issue in some countries, but the problem isn't rainfall, it tends to be more storage of water. And nothing ever grows. All right, just next time you go to the supermarket, so see where a lot of your fruit and vegetables are imported from, see where your chilies come from. Check out the coffees and the teas and so many other products. And here I'm just talking about consumable goods, foods and drinks, which emulate from the continent of Africa. If we were to go into other commodities which are stolen from the continent and historically have been stolen because of a legacy of colonialism, I could go on somewhat more, but I'm trying to stick to the point of the song, which I don't need to deviate far from in terms of destroying its relevance in the modern world. It wasn't even relevant in the 80s. It's even less so now. Why do they keep re-releasing it 4 times? This horrible piece of writing, which is just, it's just awful. I'm lost for words, which I rarely am when I make videos to social media. Do they know it's Christmas time at all? Right, we're talking about a continent where, as part of the legacy of colonialism, we have extensive Christianity. And people who are Christian across most of the southern part of Africa, but large pockets in the east and the west, not so much in the north where Islam tends to be more dominant, but still there are pockets of Christians. They tend to know when it's Christmas, and they tend to celebrate it in the good old-fashioned way by like saying prayers and going to church. It's not just a cultural festival, which is like a remembrance of a bygone era when a country used to be predominantly Christian. We're talking predominantly Christian parts of the world, and even where the countries which are predominantly Muslim, they will still recognize to some degree the festival of Christmas, because Jesus is a prophet in Islam. So I think, yeah, they all know it's bloody Christmas. All right, lads. Seems I missed out the bit which goes, and the Christmas bells that ring there are the clanging chimes of doom. Really, where are most of the wars at the moment? Not really. There are various conflicts in the continent of Africa, and Sudan is in a bit of a mess right now. Libya, but who caused those conflicts? Whose fault is it? Is it perhaps Northern Hemisphere, Western peoples? Perhaps, certainly Libya. But yeah, let's look a bit further afield and look into Europe and look at Russia and Ukraine and clanging chimes of doom. Let's look into the Middle East. What's going on there? Yemen, and of course there's the conflict in Israel and Palestine. Yeah, clanging chimes of doom in Africa. Yep. Yeah, so I've lived and worked in Africa for decades. I'm married to an African woman. My children are half African by the fact that my wife is Zambian. And the Africa which Midjor and Bob Geldof write about, and various prominent songwriters contributed to and sing on from the 1980s, and again the re-releases in the 90s, is just a horrible, stereotypical, nonsensical piece of nonsense which is just best forgotten and left to die in the archives, but it gets dragged out every single year. And yeah, I hate it. Let me know what you think about Band Aid in the comments. Maybe share my video and see if we can get some traction going on this topic. I hate it. What about you?